All right, we are 7 Days Media Football Show, Week 9. A lot happened this week. Let's go through all the news, and then let's get into everything that's happening today and kind of deadline looming Tuesday. So we're going to get into that. Are you guys okay with? Let's get into deadline. Do you guys want to do deadline before we talk the games, or you want to talk the games first?
You're driving the bus. I'm just in the back.
No, that works. That works for me. I'm down with the trade deadline.
Okay, so first and foremost, we're going to start with Lions news. Aiden Hutchinson gets his new deal, 4-year extension. He's got the 5th-year option to play under next year. So Aiden's going to be in Detroit for a minimum 5 more years. An AAV of 45 mil. That's pretty good. You can't complain with that. I think Aiden's a better player than Micah Parsons, and Mike is making more. So for Aiden to come in, I mean, they're both in the same tier of player. Let's kind of get that straight, right? Like it's an opinion at that point. And for Aiden to come in below to kind of give the Lions somewhat of a discount, I think was fair. I think it was great for both ends. Aiden's getting a ton of he got more guaranteed, I think, than not Myles Garrett. Actually, yeah, I think he did get more than Myles Garrett, but he got more in guarantees, but a little less on the AAV. I think that's a fantastic deal. Yesterday, the Eagles traded a 2026 6-rounder to Baltimore for cornerback Jair Alexander and a 27 7th-rounder. I think that was also a great deal. I'm shocked that, I know Jair Alexander is not the corner that he once was, but to kind of bring in another starter or a guy that is going to rotate and definitely play a lot of minutes in Philly, I think that was great to give up just a 6th-round pick. The Eagles are Super Bowl or bust, and I think that was a great move for them. The Bills are making calls on wide receivers. Brissett is going to start today for Arizona. Not today, Monday. For Arizona against Dallas. Bryce Young is going to start against the Packers today.
Purdy yes. I didn't know that. Okay.
Brock Purdy is going to miss his 5th straight game. Chris Greer fired in Miami as the GM, and Travis Hunter is going to IR after a knee injury in practice this week. That sucks. That sucks for the Jacksonville fans. We had this discussion, I think 2-3 weeks ago now, about Travis Hunter really not getting a lot of time, or not getting the amount of time that he should have, right? After Jacksonville traded up to get him in the 1st round. And now he goes down. It sucks to see. He's a two-way player that I think
after a breakout game too, right before the deadline. I think he had like 100+ receiving yards, a boatload of catches. That was tough. I feel for him. I feel for the Jaguars too, because I think they have the Raiders today, so that's just another opportunity for him to have another game where he could get comfortable and showcase his skills, and he's probably going to be out for the season now. I know they said the ACL's intact. They said the ACL's intact, but unless they're going to be making a Super Bowl push, he's going to be out a minimum of 4 weeks. So unless they're in the thick of it when he would be able to come off the IR, I guess in week 13 or week 14, why push it? You drafted up to number 2 to pick this guy. If you bring him back too early, he ends up tearing his ACL, very reminiscent of Robert Griffin. So
yeah,
could be a disaster, a waste of a pick, a waste of a career, just for what?
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. I would handle that one with kid gloves as the Jaguars. You don't want to destroy your future, hopefully, all-pro wide receiver and cornerback. So
Chris Greer getting fired in Miami, I guess not really a shock. I think we're all just more shocked that it's not Mike McDaniel.
It was going to be both of them.
Yeah, my take on this is like they're keeping him till the end of the season. So the Miami owner made an announcement that, or whatever, had said on record that he will remain as head coach through the end of the year. I think if you're going to fire the guy, fire him. I know, 30 years ago that used to hold some weight. if you weren't hired like mid-season. I think today things have changed. And if you're out on the guy, just fire him.
Yeah.
Fire him, let him move on with his life. And maybe give a young coach on your current staff a chance to run a team for a little bit for his own benefit, right? Like, and not only that, maybe the next, like, everyone is talking about where can I find the next such and such, and like maybe that guy is already in your system. Like if you're Miami, you had Ben Johnson on your staff, you had Dan Campbell on your staff. There's like 2 or 3 other guys that are head coaches right now that were once on the Miami staff.
Brian Flores. They had
a
head
head coach
who's going to get a job next season.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess he's got to wait out that. I don't know if that settlement came yet. I know he was suing.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, I did forget about that. But every list I look at for available head coaches next year, he's at the top of the list because he's done a great job with that Vikings.
And like the reason he got fired was because he refused to tank. Like didn't want to listen to the owner and was like, no, I'm not going to lose. Like I'm not.
And he was a good coach. I mean, I thought he was better than Mike McDaniels. I mean, I guess at this point, not many people are worse than him. So, and
I like Mike McDaniel. I think Mike McDaniels is going to be a great
coordinator.
Yeah.
He's not a head coach.
I think he could be a head coach.
He could be a head coach if they just weren't. They weren't like
whose assessment? Whose assessment was Tua though? Like whose assessment was it to draft and then extend Tua? Like it's one thing to make a mistake in the draft. It's another thing to double down and pay a guy that shouldn't get paid. And like, was that Chris Greer who just got fired? Was that Mike McDaniel saying, nope, I believe in this guy. I want this guy. Like, unless you're in that room or you have it on good authority, like you trust a beat, I don't know any of the Miami Dolphins beat reporters. Like, where I get my information from with the Lions, like, are from certain beat reporters that I trust. And like, I've learned to not trust some along the way. I don't know who's making those decisions, but like, I don't really think that it was a great roster that McDaniel's been working with. Like, I just, like, every time, even when the Dolphins, like, looked good 2 years ago or 3 years ago, like, to me, it just always looked flawed. The defense always looked soft. Like, I just never thought they were an intimidating team from any stand. I mean, the colors don't help. Those uniforms are god awful. But
it doesn't help too when you're in a division with the Bills who've drafted, what is now a top 3 quarterback in the league is going to be a Hall of Fame quarterback, and now the Patriots went from being nothing with Gerard Mayo to now maybe the best team in the AFC East.
Mm-hmm.
With Drake May, poised for an MVP run this season. So
they might be the best team in the AFC. I mean, I was talking to a Pats fan yesterday about it, and like. I hate
it so much.
They don't have the cachet that the Bills and the Chiefs and at one point the Ravens have, right? But like, I don't know. I mean, we've seen the Patriots do it before, and like, it seems like the bones of that team are strong. It's obviously like everybody else, it's dependent at the health of the quarterback position. Like this is Drake May. Like Drake May played last year, but like it was a nothing year. Now it's a year that really matters. And he has elevated his play. I mean, it seems like every single week you turn on Drake May, like you turn on a Pats game, Drake May is doing something else incredible. Like they literally rolled with like a 5-year in between of bad quarterback play. They went from Tom Brady to like not quite the Packers, right? Going from Favre to Rodgers to Love, but like, man, they don't look far off right now with Drake May.
No, they don't. And they finally got the coach. After Belichick has been gone, they finally got the right coach in Vrabel. And I mean, it just shows how good of a coach Vrabel is.
Well, they have an adult in the room.
They have an adult room.
They have an adult room. Like it didn't look like Gerard Mayo. Like from everything you read that was coming out of New England, that like after losses, he's on the plane, like in the back of the plane, playing cards with the players. Like, I don't know, man. That's probably not what you should be doing. Like I'd also heard quite a bit of like he was considered not the first guy in the building and not the last one to leave. Like as a first year head coach, that's probably not the look. I mean, everybody's got.
You're trying to convey the Patriots way.
No, but like
exactly. After what Belichick and Brady did for
your
all those
boss gives
years.
you a promotion and you're leaving every day at like quitting time.
Yeah, 9 to 5.
Not really. That's not really the look.
Yeah, and I just show and just to talk on Vrabel too. I mean, he hasn't missed a beat. How long was he out of the league? 2 years. He hasn't missed a step.
I
mean,
think he was an analyst with another team after he left Tennessee.
Yeah.
I
believe he was a consultant for the Browns defense.
If you take
fire.
on another coordinator position, you lose that salary that you're going to get from the team that fired you. So, like what most guys do, I don't know what McDaniel's. I think McDaniel's contract is up after this year or after next year. And I actually looked it up yesterday. He's only making $3.5 million, so he can go get a coordinator position to make more. Which is also kind of shocking that he's only making $3.5 million, like as a head coach for the Dolphins. But, anyways, what a lot of those guys do is they kind of take a consultant or advisory role for a year so they could get paid by two organizations, and then
makes sense.
But I think the big news here is outside of the Aiden Hutchinson news, which is great.
Yeah.
Eagles starting this deadline early. And trading for some much needed cornerback help. I mean, that defense needs help without a doubt. I think probably that pass rush could use some help too. But I think this is a great move for them. It's really hard. Like there are positions I think that are pretty easy to get at the deadline. Like corner, a good corner is not an easy thing to find, period. And I think it's a tough thing to trade for. I don't think Jair Alexander is necessarily a great corner. But like he's a body that knows the position.
And he was a great corner at one point.
He was
an all-pro corner. So I mean, they might be able to find something that's still in there and get a half a season of that back from him, and that would be big for them.
And I think that's the type of move you want to make. Like if you can't break ground with like trading for like a Patrick Surtain, not that he would be traded from Denver, but like if you can't get a guy at that level and give away a lot to get him, then that's kind of what you're looking at right now is rotational pieces. And I think the same with offensive line for most teams. Like it's even at the deadline, it's a really, really, I mean, deadline off season, doesn't matter what time of year, it's really hard to find offensive linemen because these guys cost a lot of money now. And even teams that are rebuilding are reluctant to trade away offensive line pieces because of how difficult it is to find a new guy to play that position at that level.
No, yeah, 100%.
I'm just happy that offensive linemen are finally getting their due, like with the with growing up playing line in high school, it was always you're the unsung hero, you're never going to get your flowers. And now I feel like in the NFL, like sure, they don't have all the glory and everything, you're not picking them in a fantasy draft, but as far as importance of the team goes, the recognition I feel like has been there more now than it has ever been.
Probably come with social media. I think growing up, we talked a lot about the importance of a left tackle, of a right tackle, but like now it's, you're just seeing you're seeing guards get paid. You're seeing centers get paid. You're seeing, I mean, I don't know. I always was like, today I'm wearing Jared Goff, but I'm a big offensive line jersey guy. I think that gets a lot of high fives from dudes holding a cold beer at a game. But it's really difficult to find. And, speaking from a Lions standpoint, I think we'd all like to see them kind of get another tackle here at the deadline. And I just don't really see it. Like we want to see it, but I don't really.
You have Evan Neal for a late round swap?
Yeah, no, I think I'm good. I think I'm good. No,
you're either a trash can just staying there for you.
I think we put a stop sign in the ground every 10 minutes, and it'll be all right.
Yeah, but no, as a Giants fan, I know the importance of an offensive line because the Giants haven't had one for about, I don't know, but what are we in 2025? Like 13 years?
Yeah.
13 years? We haven't had one since we
won a Super Bowl? If you look around the league here, obviously the Jets haven't gotten to a great start. The Giants have won some games. They've lost some ugly ones. Like, I mean, from either one of your teams, do you see the Jets or Giants trading anybody?
I see the Giants definitely making a few trades, most notably probably Jalen Hyde and Deonte Banks. They'll still be on their rookie contracts, and I could see them trying to shed that money here at this deadline for some late round picks, something like that. I've seen Evan Neal floated around there just as a late round pick swap, maybe Evan Neal in a 7th for a 6th, which, I mean, he's off his rookie contract. They didn't pick up the 5-year option. So if they can make a deal happen, great. If not, whatever. He's not going to be signed next year. And then from there, there's still the rumbling if they'll make a trade for another receiver, because outside of Malik Neighbors, whenever he does come back, if hopefully he's ready for day 1 next year, we need another receiver in the room. I mean, Wandale's great, but he's a slot guy. He's not going to play. He's not going to play all the time. He's not going to play all 100% of snaps. He's not going to be playing in 12 personnel. So this is we need someone else on the outside. We need someone else to be able to make plays downfield for Jackson Dart, who has shown he can do a lot with very little here in New York. So maybe you try to find that here. I know the Giants don't have a ton of money and there's not much out there, but if they can shore up that position and focus elsewhere in the draft, which they need to focus on the defense in the draft, that would be a weight off whoever's coming in shoulders. But I don't know how much Mara or anyone really trusts Shane to make any good decisions. So
if Shane was not, I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
If Shane, like, what worries me with the Giants is, like, I think that loss in Denver scares the shit out of me with Dable. Like, for a long time, I pounded the drum for this guy. I was like, I don't think it's a great roster. I think New York media had the Giants roster a little more overblown than it was. Like, I think Brian Dable has done a good job. I think what I saw against Denver scared the shit out of me with him. Like, to put the game in Jackson Dart's hands, and thankfully, I thought the media would have crushed Dart a little more, and they didn't. And they shouldn't have, because he's a rookie quarterback. The kid made a fucking mistake and threw a pick to a linebacker. And again, with the ball, he what?
He should have thrown the ball. It should have been a run play. There's no reason not to run the ball in that position.
Regardless, to have even put that game in his hands, like, as a head coach, that's an offensive guy that got the credit for Josh Allen's start to his career. Like, I don't know. So for me, I question everything with Dable. I think after that game, and call it emotional, I think after that game, I would have fired Dable. And I don't think I would let Shane make a single decision for this route. Like, I don't really know why Joe Shane is there still. Like, I think if you were going to fire him, I think you just fire him now. It doesn't make a difference. Yeah. And I think he only hurts the progression of this team going forward, because if Joe Shane thinks he still has a job, then he's going to keep prepping for, okay, what can I do for next year? And I want this guy in the draft, so how can I get this guy? Like, I don't want his opinion on who he wants in the draft. I don't want his opinion on who the Giants need to re-sign, because he's gotten every bit of that wrong. He hasn't gotten anything right with this. Like, we're pointing to some knife, Jackson Dart was a great pick, and Scatterboo was a great later pick. Like, sure, but what about all of that work you've done for the past 4 years that just put this team in the position to be drafting another quarterback? I mean, they're drafting another quarterback because you got the quarterback position wrong when you took over and paid Daniel Jones. And which, by the way, Daniel Jones is off to a 7-1 start in Indianapolis. And call that a facade, but, like, it's happening. It's happening right in front of us, and he's not turning the ball over. Like, they're not winning games despite Daniel Jones throwing picks. He's got, 3 picks on the season?
Yeah.
I mean,
no, he's been good. He hasn't been solid. He's been good. He's showing that if he can keep this up, he'll get a couple MVP votes. He could get a couple MVP votes.
I think he might get the MVP. We might see the first MVP / comeback player of the year.
I don't think
that would be insane. I don't think he will get the MVP.
Jonathan Taylor gets it over him?
No, they might have Jonathan Taylor, but
he might have 30 touchdowns this year, Jonathan Taylor. But that's going to be a feather again. That's not going to help Daniel Jones, because he does have the perfect situation around him. Great offensive line, good amount of weapons. I mean, you have top 3 tight end in the NFL right now in Tyler Warren. You have probably their best running back in the NFL right now, Jonathan Taylor, and you have some solid receivers.
Michael Pittman, Daniel Jones is on a 2-year deal too, by the way.
He's on a 2-year deal.
They don't have to do anything this offseason, which is actually great.
And the defense is good. So, but that just shows you that either Dable couldn't coach this out of Daniel Jones and get him there, or Shane couldn't build the situation to make it work. Because Well, everyone might think, oh, any quarterback in the NFL can succeed in the perfect situation. No, they cannot. No, they cannot. Obviously, it's going to make some quarterbacks look a lot better, but not any quarterback can do this. And this is showing that Daniel Jones could be a top 15 quarterback in the NFL, going forward. And to have given that up when you needed it for so long is a disaster.
I think you're in the right direction with Jackson Dart, but it's just
no, he looks good.
It's just there's so many things that are so concerning that come after these Giants decisions that if you want to make a presentation to sell me on keeping Brian Dable, I think I could do that. I don't think that you could create anything that tells me that Joe Schoen should have a job. And I think going into this deadline, I think he should have been fired. Yeah, and I think John Mara should have told the remaining front office, you guys make whatever decision is best for this organization next year and beyond, not this year. I would say the only guy that's off the table is obviously Jackson Dart, which
Jackson Dart
will get traded anyway. But
Abdul Carter probably.
And Abdul Carter. Like everybody else is up for sale.
You think they'll ship Neighbors?
No,
he's hurt. They won't.
And probably not Brian Burns. But I mean, if a team comes in and offers you 2 firsts, I don't know how you don't
I
take
think
that.
You're dumb to not take it. Yeah.
You're dumb to not take it. But also, I don't know what the dead cap situation would look on that, because that's probably got to be pretty ugly considering.
I think if you're a Giants team, though, like dead cap doesn't concern you if it's next year or the year after, because you're not going to be in the if you're in the playoffs, you're one and done. You're one of those lower level.
We do what we did when Dable first got hired.
Right.
Maybe we win a game, but we get stomped by the better team in the next round. So
yeah,
it'll be interesting to see what happens, because Giants basically said they're not trading Thibodeau, but then I also heard they're asking for a first. But then I hear they're asking for a first. So he's on the table. They're trying to stick to their guns and try to get a first. And I could see them getting a second or a third out of it. I know Matt has been against.
No, I think a third is possible.
A third's possible.
I think a third's possible. I think that's
could be possible, but we'll see.
I think if it's a second from like the Chiefs, who is going to be picking,
it would be a back end.
Yeah, if it's like a back end second round pick, okay, but I don't know. I don't see a world where he's worth it, because he hasn't shown you that. And I think if he was getting paid like $3 million next year, then I'd say, yeah, I sure he's worth that. But to trade away a second and then know you got to pay him $15 million, that's a lot. That's a lot for a guy that's like really only productive half the time on third down. I don't know. I can't do it. Burns is a stud, but I think Burns is probably a building block, and you're not moving him. And you have a lot of money, like we said, sunk into that. Deadline. What else do you guys have? Jets. Is Breece Hall going to be on the move?
No. So something very interesting happened a couple days ago where the Jets shipped Michael Carter out. I forgot about that. I forgot to mention that. I forgot who he went to.
Yeah, that's right.
But they traded Michael Carter. They got a couple draft picks in return for him, and that freed up like $12 million in cap space. And the rumor has it now is that money is going to go directly to Breece Hall's pocket, especially after the game we saw him play against the Bengals last week. I hope this is the case. We know what Breece is capable of doing, and we just haven't gotten the chance to kind of, set him free, for lack of a better term. But again, we saw it last week where he rushed for 135 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a throwing touchdown. The guy looked unbelievable. So I really do hope they give that money to him. Otherwise, there's no reason to believe that they wouldn't trade him. At the time, if you would have said this a couple weeks ago to me, I would have said absolutely trade him, get him out of here. Not because I love Breece Hall, but he wanted to get going. You could see in his cryptic Instagram posts and whatnot that this place wasn't just really working for him, and it was not really a good fit. But I think I don't want to say we need to make moves and try to be buyers, but we need a receiver. So I don't know if that receiver is going to come from the draft or what. I know we did pick up one. Let me see who it was. We got somebody from the Eagles. I forgot his name.
Was it Jahan Dotson?
No, I don't think it was Jahan. New York Jets trades. Let's try that. Receivers just comes up. Picture of Garrett Wilson. Michael. No. Well, so we traded Michael Carter. We traded Michael Carter to the Eagles for John Mechie,
Oh,
a
okay,
sixth
John
round pick.
Mechie. Yeah, he was a Texan, and I think he missed his first season because he had cancer, if I'm not mistaken. So
Oh, didn't know that.
good story. Nice story from him.
Yeah, I don't know much about him. I don't know if he's going to be, the answer we're looking for, but we need help. We can't just keep
The
throwing the
fourth
ball to
receiver.
Alan Lazard. I do think that Garrett Wilson's going to be coming back after the bye, hopefully, so that will hopefully get things going, but we'll see. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think they ship Brees. I think Quincy Williams might be on the chopping block. Not so much Quinnen. Quinnen got paid. But other than that, I don't see us doing too much. But who knows? You never know what.
You don't think Quinnen Williams gets moved?
I don't think Quinnen Williams gets moved. No, I think they get. I think they get rid of Quincy.
That's like damn.
No. The Lions are not. I don't think the Lions are going to play for a D tackle.
They need secondary help.
This is nothing to do with the Jets. This is, but I did find an article with a handful of proposed possible trade deadline moves. So,
Okay.
Rashid Shaheed to the Broncos.
Okay. That's interesting. That's an interesting one.
That gets coupled with Taysom Hill to the Broncos. Who would have ever saw that one? Who would have ever saw that one coming?
Not me. Rashid Shaheed's interesting.
I don't think that happens.
They got
either of them.
I don't.
I could see Taysom Hill.
I can't see Taysom Hill. Why would he? Why would anybody? That's a lot of money for a guy you don't have
Sean
a position
Payton's
for.
Fucking child.
That's why I think they're better off waiting because Taysom Hill hasn't been Taysom Hill since Sean Payton left New Orleans. So I have a feeling that they'll probably just if Sean Payton wants him back, I have a feeling they'll wait till he's either cut or in a free agent and pick him up.
Yeah.
Pick him up.
And I don't see Shaheed happening because the Broncos have some good receivers there. I mean, Troy Franklin's kind of stepping up. Obviously, Sutton's been up and down this year, but Sutton's still a good receiver. And Marvin Mims is kind of that, third slot guy, and then you kind of
he's their kick returner, which is good. But also on the other hand of things, that it's kind of the Breece Hall effect where this guy, he's a talent and it's there, and he's just kind of wasting away with a nothing team in New Orleans as of right now.
Actually, Tyler Shough is getting the start today in New Orleans. I did forget to say that.
Who is?
Yeah.
Tyler
Shaw,
whatever. I don't know how they say his name.
Tyler
Shaw.
This one's interesting. Jerome Ford to the Patriots. I think that's dumb. I don't think that's necessary at all, unless if there's something going on that I don't know about. But the Patriots have that two-headed running back duo, and I don't think they need to add a wrinkle into that.
That's suspected because Ramondre is out this week.
I think there's other teams who could use Jerome Ford. Oh, is it?
Yeah. Ramondre's out this week with turf toe, and they elevated a running back from the practice squad to obviously. But I think there's a lot of talk. I've seen a lot of chatter about there's something going on with Travion Henderson and Vrabel. Like either he's not doing what he's supposed to be doing in practice, or otherwise, I mean, there's no way Ramondre Stevenson fumbles the ball as much as he does and still gets to start week after week, and Travion Henderson does not. There's got to be something going on there where
he's also a rookie, and I heard
doesn't matter.
No, because
you fumble the ball that many times. I'm not saying Travion needs to come in and be the bell cow, but he needs to get more than 20%, 25%, 30% of the snaps. That should be an even split at this point where you're letting him at least show you what he's got. And he's got talent. He's got juice, Travion Henderson. And the fact that he's not getting it, and I think this week will be indicative. If you go out and you see Travion Henderson get 2 targets, 3 targets, and 7 carries, this Patriots team does not want to give him the workload for whatever reason it might be, whether it's something in practice, something he's doing, not doing, or maybe they just don't want to give it to a rookie. Maybe that's Vrabel being a hard ass, and that'll show you whether they're going to trade for a running back or not. And I think they end up trading for one. Speaking
of trading for running backs, I know I had seen a couple of things on the internet about Craig Reynolds on the Lions getting moved. He's their third string running back. They did draft Sione Vaki out of Utah 2 years ago, who's a free safety and halfback, who they want to start getting some more playing time to. I know Craig Reynolds is a big special teams guy. It wouldn't be a blockbuster trade, but a team like New England, if they can't get a deal for Jerome Ford, because I did see them linked to Jerome Ford, kind of any of these teams in the AFC that are looking for running back help, I think you would see potentially Craig get moved for a 7th round pick, a 6th round pick. It seems like, as much as we all want to see it, it seems like Trey Hendrickson's not going anywhere. Apparently, I saw a report 5 or 6 teams have called the Bengals seriously looking into him, and the Bengals answer every time is we're not moving him. The Bengals have another couple of players that people have called about that the Bengals are just insistent on. We're not moving anybody. I think it's dependent on today. I think the Bengals win. Bengals win. No one gets moved. I think if the Bengals lose, and they're at what? They're at 3 wins here.
They're 3 and 5.
Yeah,
3
I
and
think
5.
if you're 3 and 6, like looking at week 10, I don't know, man. Like
That AFC North is wide open.
That might be a sneaky great game too. The Bears are pretty feisty, and if Flacco shows up, that might not be too bad of a game.
And you know Flacco's going to show up. He's going to go and target Jamar Chase another 20 times. You know what's funny about that? I don't know if you guys have seen, since Flacco's taken over, his target percentage as like targets to Jamar Chase spread out over 17 games puts him at like a 317 target pace for a full season. Insane.
I mean,
Well,
Flacco's still has
he's running the Bengals offensive plan. That's how it should be, regardless of who's under center.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Get the ball to the number 1 receiver in the league. That's
It's
it.
what you pay
100%.
for.
Yeah, 100%.
It's what you pay for in those guys.
That's a dumpster fire there.
You think the Bengals win today? You think they beat the Bears?
I don't know.
Like, part of me wants to see them lose because, like, part of me wants to see them lose. Obviously, they're playing the Bears, and I don't want to see the Bears win. They're in our division. I'd like to see them lose to kind of edge the Bengals into trading Trey Hendrickson. But, like, the other part of me kind of thinks, like, I don't think the Bengals are going to do it. Like, I don't think they're going to concede. And I think it's really dumb because if someone's willing to give you, like, a 2nd and a 4th for Trey Hendrickson, like,
He's not
I
even
don't
under
know,
contract
man.
next year.
What?
He's not even under contract.
He's not
next
under
year.
contract. He can't be franchise tagged. According to his extension, that was part of the extension. He's not able to. So, like, the Bengals have nothing else that they could. The only thing they can get is they can get a 3rd round compensatory pick. I think in 2027, depending on where he signs and what he signs for. I think if you're the Bengals, I think if you win today, it's a discussion. You know, you're 4 and 5. Okay. I think if you're 3 and 6, you got to do this. And I think you're really hurting your fucking organization by not doing it.
It's a dumpster fire run there. I mean, Zach Taylor should be gone. He should have been gone a few years ago. And I don't know who the GM there is, but he's made bad decision after bad decision. I mean,
I think the problem comes from the owners. I don't think it comes from either Zach Taylor or the GM.
really.
Yeah,
The owners.
I agree 100%.
I think they are among the worst owners in the league. if
Paul,
not the worst owners
the
in
Brown
league.
family, yeah.
And
Regardless, it's
They don't even practice in an indoor. They practice at the University of Cincinnati. Like,
that's
that's
horrible.
usually it's universities that are mooching off the pro teams, and in here it's the opposite. It's the other way around. I mean, and this is an organization that has a pretty large fan base. I mean, they show out, they care, they definitely generate a lot of money for that team.
Yep.
And this is an organization that, like, time and time again, will pay for wide receivers. They'll pay quarterbacks. They'll pay the guys that sell the jerseys. Ironically, they won't pay for offensive line help. They won't pay for defensive line help. They won't build a good defense. They don't pay their coaches a lot of money. They're like, this is what you get. This is what you get when you're a cheap organization. And I don't know, man. I think Joe Burrow should have thought twice before he signed this contract because he's going to waste away here in Cincinnati. It's just every
He's
year
gonna get hurt.
we're just going to keep hearing about what Joe Burrow could have been and what Joe Burrow could have like my kids are going to grow up and be like, who the fuck was Joe Burrow? Like that's what it's going to be. That's unless my kids become like really big SEC fans, they're not going to know who Joe Burrow was because he's just going to be like, he's just going to be this guy that we were like, yeah, he was fucking like, it's like the way you ever like ask an old dude about Bernie Kosar and they're like, yo, that guy was fucking sick. He got his head taken off, but he was sick. But like, you know, the record books don't talk about Bernie Kosar because he didn't really do much because the Browns didn't win anything, you know, but like the guy was a dog for so long. I think that's how we're going to look at Joe Burrow. I think Joe Burrow pound for pound, is the best quarterback in football.
I was just about to say the same thing. Best pure passer in the NFL.
Like
hands down.
he is everything you would ever want in a quarterback, and he's just going to get killed every year. And we're just going to be like, oh well, they have Jamar Chase, so they're good for my fantasy team for 3 weeks. Like that's what it is. That's what that whole fucking team is, and it sucks. And you have probably the best pass rusher in football on the other side too, by the way, and you couldn't figure out an extension for him. Like
it's a dumpster fire. They need to ship T. Higgins. I mean, it's
you
stupid.
can't now because it's all dead money. Can't do that.
It's all dead money.
They should have shipped away last year. They should have shipped away T. Higgins and they should have shipped away T. Higgins and Trey Hendrickson at the deadline and rebuilt from there and given Joe Burrow a crazy line. But you know what? They didn't. And also, like Joe Burrow, you wanted to set a record with the amount of money you were going to make. Like you could have went the Jared Goff route and kind of spread your money and taken an extra year and not killed the team in AAV, but you didn't. And you wanted to set a record, and here you are. Like
you know what? With how they've treated him, with not building an offensive line around him, why the fuck would you want to do that?
So fucking leave. Go anywhere else. They're not going to franchise you forever. They eventually have to let you go. I mean, Kirk Cousins. Look what Kirk Cousins did. That guy parlayed himself into one of the like financial
generational wealth.
That guy set up his family. He set up his grandkids. Like, I mean, and all Kirk Cousins was just timing. Like Kirk Cousins at no point was a top 3, top 5 quarterback in football, but he just kept like every time he hit free agency, he was the only guy available. So
only guy available, and he had the best season of his career.
Just enough tape. Yeah, enough tape to get on there.
1 p.m. Kirk Cousins. 1 p.m. Kirk Cousins. Never forget. All right, let's get into the Sunday slate. We're 36 minutes into the show. We talked about the Denver Broncos before. They are playing the Texans in Houston. Texans are 2.5 points. Really? You taking the Texans? I'm on the opposite.
Not here. I'm fading the Texans big time. It bit me in the ass last week with the Niners. Yeah, fuck you.
They crushed them.
No, I took the Niners. I literally said somebody talked me out of taking the Niners in this game, and Facino and Pascal said we can't. I think it's a good pick. I said okay, cool. Laid into them, and then they lost by 12.
Well, I think Mac Jones got hurt. Last week, I believe.
He's playing again.
He's playing again, but I believe he got hurt in the middle of that game. Or he got hurt before that game, something like that.
I think with the Texans, I mean, you look at them, I think there's a good chance this could be the best defense in the NFL. The Houston Texans defense is legit.
The Cleveland Browns have entered the chat.
They have, and I didn't say they are. I said they could be. Mm-hmm. But, this is a good defense the Houston Texans have. And they showed it last week. They shut down the 49ers. Granted, it was a Mac Jones-led 49ers, but they shut them down, even with CMC and George Kittle on that offense. And then this week they have a better offense in the Denver Broncos. But that offense hasn't been perfect. Bo Nix has tend to disappear, and they are in Houston. The Houston Texans play amazing in at home. Then the offense gets Nico Collins back this week. So, you could see CJ Stroud be able to just spread the ball around and be able to eat clock on this Denver Broncos defense. And that has been susceptible to some big plays this year. I don't know, is Surtain healthy this week? I know he did leave the game a couple of times last week. So
Surtain's out.
He is out. So yeah, again, that allows for the Texans to drive the ball down the field a little bit better. And I think this is going to be a Texans win. And I think they're going to win pretty big. I think they're going to win by a score or more, like maybe like 7,
really
10 points.
Really,
yeah, I could see them just eating clock and not letting the Broncos do anything.
I can't say I disagree with you, because I think the Broncos are as fickle as they come. I think some weeks they have it. I think other weeks they don't.
The Broncos are fickle, but like the Texans just give us blue balls. Like I think D'Amico Ryans is a really good fucking head coach.
Mm-hmm.
I think he knows how to run a defense clearly.
Okay.
I just think I just don't want to buy that CJ Stroud's a bad quarterback. I don't want to buy it, but it's like every week he's got a fucking chance and he's turning it over. He's not at a crazy amount of picks, but he's also not really scoring. He's got 11 touchdowns for 5 picks. Like
5 picks.
That's at a 2-to-1 ratio. That's really not where you want to be at. More of ironically, you want to be at 3-to-1, which is what Bo Nix is at 15-5. So like, That's really where you want, which hypothetically, CJ Stroud, if he comes out today and he's 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, he's right there with Bo. So, it's CJ's got the talent. Like the guy won Offensive Rookie of the Year for a fucking reason. I think he's phenomenal. I don't buy into what we've seen this last year and a half out of him. I think he's so much better than that. And the other thing is that first year, the Texans kind of came out of nowhere. People had them as a 2-win team. I think they won 10 or 11 games. They made the playoffs. So, maybe just nobody was accounting for them. And now they are. Now you're the hunted, and you kind of look at it, you're looked at in a different light. Okay. The Colts play the Steelers today. They're in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is a home dog today. Pittsburgh's going to be plus 3.5. I think I'm still riding the Colts. I think I don't think the Steelers are that good. I don't think Rodgers has shown that his arm is still there when he's in the pocket.
Yeah.
But I'm riding the Colts. There's just no. I guess this started in like week 6 or 7 for me, where I was just waiting for the wheels to come off. Eventually they'll come back down to earth. And you know what? I think it'll happen in a playoff game. I think they'll line up against the Chiefs or maybe the Broncos or the Bills or the Patriots. If prime example, if the Bills end up winning the East, like everyone expects, and the Patriots are a wild card team, I could very much see the Patriots walking into Indy and mollywopping them. I don't think that would shock anybody. No, the Patriots.
Yeah, the Patriots walking into Indy. Yeah.
Yes.
I think it's gonna be a good game.
So far, what we've seen is that the Colts are playing good defense. They're turning the ball over on defense. They're running the ball exceptionally well, and they're blocking for Daniel Jones. He's at a 13-3, TD to INT ratio. He's another one. He's not turning the ball over. Yeah, he's rushing the ball pretty fucking well too. He's got 4 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah.
He hasn't fumbled rushing, and he's fumbled twice in the pocket and hasn't lost any of them. Knock on wood for them. So this Colts team on paper should not be great, but they're 7-1. I think they're 7-1 for a reason. I think the Steelers are overrated, and I think the Colts walk into Pittsburgh and win today.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I think the Colts go in and I think they kind of dominate. I mean, the Pittsburgh defense has been soft in the secondary, and I could see. You
talk about controlling the clock, like Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah,
they're going to control the clock.
This could be a game to fade Jonathan Taylor just because of the Steelers defense, the way it's set up. They tend to be good up front, in stopping the run, and soft in the secondary. And you could see Daniel Jones. He leaned on a little bit more than he has in previous weeks to air the ball out and be able to win the game himself, as opposed to leaning on Jonathan Taylor to kind of control the clock as much as he has. And he has the weapons to do that in Indy. Between the 3 receivers, Pittman, Pearson, Josh Downs, and then Tyler Warren at the tight end position, who's been phenomenal this year. And honestly, not to throw shade at the Bears, but I know Pass will like this one. Ben Johnson's an idiot for taking Colston Loveland over Tyler Warren. That was just that is a bad decision. Colston Loveland basically hasn't played this year, and Tyler Warren is looking like at worst a top 3 or top 4 tight end.
I think,
if not, maybe the best tight end in football, behind or right there with Trey McBride and George Kittle.
I think they're idiots for taking a tight end in the first when you needed help everywhere else. But yeah. No, I'm not talking about the
from an offensive standpoint.
If you're taking a tight end in the first round, you have to get it right. You want to say that about every pick. You're willing to take the chance on maybe not getting it right for a D tackle, a great offensive lineman, or a great quarterback. Guys that show great skill sets, guys that can be molded, and maybe just something went wrong. But if you're taking a tight end in the first round, you have to be with 100% certain that it is going to work out. He is going to be a All-Pro or a Pro Bowl tight end. If he's not, it's a bust, and you fucked up, and you set your team back at least a year.
Never overpowered anyone with size. He wasn't like Brock Bowers. He didn't have crazy size over the people he was playing.
He reminds me of Vernon Davis.
Where did he go to college?
Michigan.
Yeah.
He was when I watched him at Michigan. And I watched a lot of Michigan that year because obviously they won a national championship. I was like, this guy's good, but he's like, I hate to say it, he's like college good. Like he's good for where they are and what he's doing, but like he wasn't the guy that like took over the game. Like when you watch the Michigan offense, I wouldn't even say you really watch JJ McCarthy. Like for me, I was watching that line just bully people. I was watching that line bully people, and I was watching Blake Corum run through guys. Like that was the Michigan offense. It was controlling the clock. The defense gets on the field, gives you nothing. And, Michigan was winning these games, whatever, like under 20 points. They had won. I'll never forget this. They had beat Penn State in Penn State without throwing the ball once in the second half. Like that's how good of an offense they were. And I think Colson Loveland was kind of like a product of that. I don't really think it was worth being a first round pick. And I agree with you, Bass. I think Tyler Warren's really special. I think he's a really good tight end. And
he came out of college, not people thinking no, he's not going to be a big blocker. He's more just going to be a glorified slot receiver, a bigger body for mismatch. And I'm not going to say he's out here looking like George Kittle, getting in line and putting his hand in the dirt and blocking for his quarterback, but he can he can block. He can throw a block, and then
the game is different. The game is different. Like I remember when the Lions drafted T.J. Hockenson, all we heard about was how great a blocker this guy was, and then he got to Detroit and he really couldn't do it. And then they drafted Sam Laporta, and he was touted as he's a good route runner, and like the guy was still is a tremendous blocker. No. So knock on wood, hopefully he has a great game today. But yeah, it's a different game. It's a different game. The player size is different. So, but anyway, move on to the 1 o'clocks here. 49ers come across the country. They're playing the Giants. The 49ers are -2.5. So the Giants are home dogs. I think that's probably appropriate.
You don't feel great about
I kind of love the Giants here. I don't know if I'm right or wrong.
I would like it a lot more if it was. I would like it a lot more if they were getting like 4 or 5. I think
I'll tell you on the Giants and the fact that everybody on the 49ers is hurt. Everybody on the 49ers is hurt. And I understand that doesn't make a difference. We saw what happened against the Broncos, and I understand why Giants fans are a little reserved right now and whatnot, but I don't know, man. To come into New York, that's a big travel. A lot of time, time changes on top of the clock going back today. That kind of fucks the Niners even harder.
Well, it gives you an extra hour of sleep if you didn't sleep much on the plane. So I don't think that's. I think it helps you, if anything.
I don't know. I'm done pretending to understand how daylight savings works. But regardless, I think the Giants are going to be hungry. I think be on the lookout for Tyrone Tracy here. He's a solid running back who's going to get back into the fold now with Scadaboo's injury. And then, like you said before, I know you said Wan'Dale Robinson is, efficient and good, but he's also not a bad receiver to have.
No, he's a solid receiver.
If the defense can show up today, which I do think they can, I picked them up in fantasy. I'm streaming them. I think the Giants might be able to squeak out a win here. Does it help you guys? Does it hurt you guys? I don't know, but I'm rooting for you.
I don't know. I mean, hey, it would be nice to see the Giants get a win. I'd love to see it, after that Denver loss, after a couple losses this year. I mean, this Giants team could be in the thick of it, and they're not. Right now they're kind of just hoping, as Giants fans, you're hoping for them to put up solid performances and then lose so we have a good draft pick is kind of where I'm at. But this defense just needs help. I mean, outside of Abdul Carter, Brian Burns, outside of the 4 guys up front on the defensive line.
Dexter Lawrence has not had a good season either.
He's not had a good season.
Let's be honest about Dexter Lawrence. He's disappeared.
He's disappeared, but he's getting double teamed every play, and Brian Burns is showing up. So I mean, but outside of those 4 guys, I don't trust anyone. The secondary's awful. They can't guard anything. They can't guard anything. And they can't give it any time for the defensive pass rush to get home. And then the middle linebackers, the linebacking position, they can't tackle. And, if they're able to break through the line, if they're able to open up a gap for a running back, it's going to be a chunk play, 10, 15, 20-plus yards. And that's been the Giants' big problem this year. They're allowing the running backs to just get yards on them in droves. And you can see it today with CMC. If he touches the ball 30 times, you could see him have like 200 all-purpose yards between catching the ball and running the ball. So I don't think this is going to be a pretty one for the Giants defense personally, because while the Niners are hurt, They still have a decent offensive line, and they still got CMC and George Kittle. And I think if anyone can make Mac Jones look good, the Giants secondary. So while I do think the Giants could still squeak this one out, I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think I don't know what the over-under is, but I would be very interested in taking that.
48
The over.
and a half.
Yeah.
Well, that's
What
what
is
ESPN bet has.
Yeah.
ESPN
FanDuel is 48.5 too.
48 and a half. Wow, that's pretty big over-under. Maybe not, but you can still see that. That's a high. That's a high point total. But
my boy just sent me a picture of he said game day, and he photoshopped my daughter over St. Brown, a Vikings corner. So
that's funny.
that's what I get to see. That's pretty fucking funny.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
What are we
So
on to next.
yeah, let's get to the Lions. Lions playing the Vikings 1 o'clock Ford Field. It's great to have a 1 p.m. start. Lions have not had one of those in weeks. So that's good to see. JJ McCarthy comes back here for the Vikings. This game could kind of go either way. I think it's really dependent on JJ McCarthy. I think if JJ has a bad game, I think the Lions, may not. The Vikings defense is good, but the Lions have, knock on wood, shown up. Sign of the cross here, shown up against the Brian Flores defense.
Their secondary is a little bit weak.
The line secondary is, but if the
I'm talking about the Vikings.
Well, the line secondary, I think Kirby Joseph is going to be out for this game. I haven't heard what's up with DJ Reed. Oh, DJ Reed, so he's not coming back. He was able to come back off IR, but he's not for this game. And I don't see Terrion Arnold on here. So Arnold looks like he's going to play, which is good. The Lions have some guys coming back on the defense, but it's not going to be this week. So I guess we're looking at DJ Reed next week, which sucks. You want to have DJ Reed out there. He's definitely the best corner on this team. But, I mean, the Lions are in a race here for the NFC North with the Packers. The Packers have the edge over them right now with that week 1 win, and the Packers have that tie, which I guess I thought that they would beat the Cowboys that week. So in a way, the tie is a win, but the tie kind of hurts them here because even if the Lions win and the Packers lose today to the Panthers, I want to say the Packers are still. I want to say the Packers are still above us because the Packers are what are they? They are 5-1-1. Actually, no. If the Packers lose today and the Lions win, the Lions would be back in the 1 seed. So,
because that would technically be
because then the Lions
like
would have 6,
loss.
the Packers would have 5, and they'd be tied with what's it called with losses. So, I don't know, does anybody have anything else on this?
No, I kind of just see this being a Lions win through and through. I think.
Do you think they cover the spread?
No,
what's the spread?
I was 9.5.
7.5?
I was just about to say
9.5?
that. I think 9.5.
FanDuel's got 8.5.
I think they do. I think there was a reason JJ McCarthy hasn't started the past few weeks. I don't think he's showing much in practice. I think the word is that he's been healthy for a little bit now, and they were still letting Carson Wentz go out there and play. They let him kind of destroy his arm last week, as opposed to letting JJ McCarthy come in. So I don't think Kevin O'Connell and the Vikings team have much faith in JJ McCarthy, and I think the Lions are going to come out here and just kind of curb stomp the Vikings. Really,
I hope to God you're right. I feel confident in them getting the win. I don't know that I feel confident in them covering the spread. This is a tough spread to cover. You are at home, and but Justin Jefferson's still on the other side. They've got playmakers there. So let's see.
Running back committee.
Yeah, they do. They have a good line. The Vikings have a solid line there.
They do, but you guys should be able to run the ball down their throats. Another thing, open things up for Amon-Ra, Sam Laporta, and maybe Jameson Williams if they want to ever throw him the ball.
Yeah, he's really just been a decoy.
He's been a decoy, and that sucks for our fantasy team.
Yeah, it does. I don't think I would have ever have recommended. I probably would have recommended you draft Tesla late.
It was
over
like an 8th round
drafting.
pick for Jameson Williams,
Yeah,
so I
J-Lo.
wasn't like I spent too much on it, but whatever. The rest of the team's good. I'm in first place, so
Two more interesting games here in the 1:00 window: Falcons,
Yeah,
Patriots, Bears, and Bengals. What do you guys want to get into first?
I'll say the Falcons and Patriots because I think this is another one that's just kind of it's going to be all Patriots today. I think where the Patriots excel is going to be able to shut down that Falcons-led offense, and it's just going to allow Drake May to kind of pick apart a Falcons defense. It has been solid this year, but I have all faith Drake May can kind of just take over this game and lead the Patriots to a big win today, and stay atop that AFC East. What do you think, Jerry?
I don't know. I mean,
They're going to Atlanta, right?
yeah. No, the game's at Foxborough.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. It's a weird spread. The spread's 4.5 here. I like to think I can never get a read on the Falcons because no matter whenever I think I have them in a box, they fuck me. And they always fuck me hard, and it sucks. But the Falcons are nowhere in the same league as the Patriots are currently. But I don't know. You never know. They can go out there and pull. And I understand that on the show we're not very. Paskers are very high on Michael Penix Jr. I, for one,
Not at all. Not at all.
I think he has some solid flashes here and there. But you never know. He can run out there and he can just be firing all cylinders, getting the ball to everybody. I do think, correct me if I'm wrong here, the Falcons have some injuries. I'm not 100% positive about that, but I don't know. Drake London's played.
I think he is.
Excuse me.
I think Michael
he
Penix
is.
is supposed to be back.
Yeah, Michael
Penix
Penix
is
supposed to be back. I think Drake London is back.
And a
if I'm
whopping
not mistaken.
5 touchdowns to 3 interceptions.
Who's their backup?
Kirk Cousins. Kirko.
Oh, yeah, duh. Yeah. Huh.
So
Right.
Penix has appeared. He has appeared in 6 games, 5 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He's run 1 touchdown in, has lost a fumble. So he's total at 6 touchdowns to
3
4
interceptions.
turnovers.
turnovers.
Counting the fumble he lost.
Yeah.
Penix is bad. I think the Falcons are overrated. I think every year everybody says, "Oh, the Falcons might win the South." They fucking won't win the South because the Buccaneers are really fucking good.
Yeah.
Todd Bowles knows how to run a defense, and what's his face? Fucking Baker Mayfield is a very, very more than competent, probably top 5 quarterback in the NFL.
That probably is.
We should probably put some respect on that guy's name.
The fact that he's been cut twice
yeah,
is insane. Twice.
yeah. The Cleveland Browns wanted an adult in the room, right? So
Yeah, they wanted an adult.
You got-
They got it with
you got what you want. You
Sanders.
got what you wanted right on a massage table. So that's good
Yeah.
for you. Good for
And
you.
then the Panthers went and cut him, and they decided to roll with Bryce Young, and you'll see how that's working out.
You know what, though? Bryce Young, I think the jury is somewhat out on him. He's shown us flashes of what he can do. And I just – they're another team. They play the Packers at 1. I think the Panthers are just abysmal. There's nothing there. There's no one to throw to. There's no one to block for you. There's
They
no
have
one to
Tep
run the ball.
McMillan. He's not
Tep
bad.
McMillan's
And,
good,
and then
yeah.
they have Rico Dowdle. There's a
Can
couple.
you name an offensive lineman on the Carolina Panthers? You can't.
No, I
They
can't.
suck.
I can't.
They're so bad. They're so
Iggy
bad, and
Papa.
that defense isn't good. So, I think Bryce Young, I don't think Bryce Young is that great, but he also doesn't have a fucking chance every week. So I don't know. I think the Packers win that game. I think they're going to beat the shit out of the Panthers.
They're going to stomp
That's in,
them.
that game's in Green Bay. That's a 13 and a
It's
half
in
point
Green Bay.
spread.
That's a big spread for what
And I
is
think
this?
the Patriots beat the Falcons, by the way.
Yeah, I think that the Panthers defense is a little bit better than people give it credit for, but I don't know if the offense can be able to do anything on that for that Packers defense. So we'll see. I think the Panthers defense could actually hold this game a little bit closer than Packers fans want, and I think the Panthers could cover begrudgingly. No, it's not going to look pretty, but I think they can kind of just sneak in and cover.
I think 2 things happen. One of 2 things happens today. The Packers blow them out, cover the spread, or the Panthers win. I don't think there's any in between. I think if the Packers win, it's not by 9 or 10. It's by 20.
Okay.
That's a tough game to make a spread for. And then Bears Bengals. Do the Bears are -2.5 going into this game. Do they beat the Bengals? Vegas likes the Bears. Seems like
Where
all
is
the
it?
money's
Is it
on
in
the Bears.
Cincy or is it in Chicago?
Cincy.
I think I like the Bengals.
Yeah, you like the Bengals here?
I think I like the Bengals.
I want to, but I don't know.
DeAndre Swift out, DJ Moore
Yeah.
hurt. This could be a
DJ Moore's out? Yeah,
No,
Ron
he's
McDonald.
hurt. He's been dealing with a groin injury for a bit. So, Monunga is a good running back, good backup for the Bears. I think what this is going to be. It's going to be a high scoring game. It's going to be a fun game to watch. I think that's.
I
what
have
it's
to
gonna be.
pee. Hold the fort down, boys. I got to pee.
I think the Bears are a frisky team here. I really do. And I know that Swift being out kind of throws a wrinkle into things, especially because he was just starting to get going. But Ben Johnson has really, I feel as if, came into his own as a head coach here. I mean, you're starting to see them win games. I've said it week in and week out. I know they're coming off of a loss from last week, I believe, unless they're on a bye, and I'm totally making that up. No, they lost to the Ravens last week. Yeah. They're winning games that they shouldn't be winning. I know I've said that a couple times here on this podcast, but that's the biggest difference here. And I think that he's rallying things around. And I know that Caleb hasn't, he's still not really like phenomenal, I guess, playing as a one. He doesn't look like he should have been a 1-1, but you got to assume he's going to get there eventually and somehow. So
the talent's there. It's just the decision making hasn't been there necessarily yet. And I like the Bears. I think they're going to put up a bunch of points. I think they're going to be able to run the ball with great efficiency. I think they're going to be able to throw and attack that secondary with great efficiency. But I think both things are going to be true. I think both the Bengals and the Chicago offense is going to be big today. I think both these defenses are pretty soft. Actually, not pretty soft. The Bengals defense is
Bengals defense is Swiss cheese.
Cheese. And the Bears defense isn't too much better. They got some guys there, but it's not great. It's not amazing. So it's going to be a high scoring game.
This could be a great over game. That's what this could be.
What I look at it is I think when you look at between the quarterbacks, Joe Flacco and Caleb Williams, well, Joe Flacco is not, a great quarterback. He's not really good, but he is someone that's done it for years, and he's going to be able to make use of some amazing weapons there that the Bengals do have in Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Chase Brown. And he's going to be able to make some plays on a soft defense. And with that being said, I think it's going to come down to who's going to be better at managing the clock. And I think that's going to be Joe Flacco. I think he's going to be able to manage the clock for the Bengals well. And if the game ends or if the game's coming down to the wire and the ball's in Joe Flacco's hands, I think Joe Flacco is going to be able to put up a scoring drive and be able to win for the Bengals.
I think that's fair.
Flacco was questionable. I don't know if you guys touched on that.
I think it was a AC joint sprain in his non-throwing shoulder, if I'm not mistaken. So that's
probably a cortisone shot.
It's a cortisone shot, some smelling salts, and get his ass out there.
Yeah.
Maybe an early dinner for Flacco,
maybe a TV dinner for the old man. Before we get you out of here, Bass, big game today. Kansas City is traveling to Buffalo. Buffalo is the home dog. I don't agree with this. No, Buffalo has not looked good, but I think if there's any game we're getting up for, it's the fucking Kansas City Chiefs. I think that team's got it on the whiteboard. Like, this is your AFC Championship or divisional round. The way the things, the playoff seeding kind of logs, you're gonna see this team in the playoffs. I don't see how the Bills don't get up for this game. I think the Chiefs will probably end up winning because they're gonna get help from the referees.
And that's exactly why I'm taking the Chiefs here. I saw my anonymous.
But the Bills usually beat them in the
regular season. Yep. Josh Allen is 4-1 against the Chiefs in the regular season. He's 0-4 or 0-3 against them in the playoffs. And while he's played well in every single game, he hasn't been able to get over that hump in the playoffs. But I'll say this before I leave: with the Chiefs, we always talk about you give Andy Reid the bye, and he's going to come out and play well. I think if you're giving the Bills, the Bills don't have the bye. I'm sorry. I think the Chiefs. I think if you give them the bye, that they're going to come out and win. It's happened every time for the
Chiefs are
against
not
the
coming
Bills
off
and
a
then
bye.
these big games. No, they're not. I thought the Bills were, but the Bills came off a bye the week before.
Mhm.
But I regardless, I think the Chiefs are traveling across the country to Buffalo. While the Chiefs have been good this year, the offense has finally found its stride. Patrick Mahomes is back to being Patrick Mahomes in the regular season after 2 or 3 years off. I still think this is the game the Bills are playing for. You know, that they could win the AFC East, they could get into a wild card. I think they're good enough to make a run regardless of wherever they finish. For them, beating the Chiefs here gives them that win, and it just sets the Chiefs back from winning that division. I think this is a bigger win for the Bills than it is the Chiefs, and I think they're going to be playing for it.
ESPN just had the graphic up. Joe Flacco is active. Trey Hendrickson for the Bengals is inactive.
Again.
That's really big.
He's been dealing with a groin, if I'm not, or a hip.
I wonder what that is. Or
He's
I
been
wonder
dealing
if
with
they're just taking that out of Zach Taylor's hands and saying that he's not playing. And if we lose today, he is gone.
He's gone. Maybe.
Don't know. I mean, gun to my head, I don't think he gets traded.
No, neither do I. That team's stubborn. So
yeah.
Anyways, gents, I got to sign off. I got to get ready for a birthday party.
Zach, thank you for being on the show.
Yes, thank you for having me. Happy football Sunday. And let's go Giants. Let's go Jets. The Jets are on bye, so
we're on a
let's go
bye.
Jets.
Yep, can't lose if you're on a bye.
Can't lose.
Can't lose.
The Jets can't hurt you this week.
and let's go Lions. Later, guys.
Fucking A, let's go.
Peace.
Yeah, it really makes me upset that this game is not a Sunday night game, and so we have to watch fucking Seahawks Commanders, which shouldn't be a terrible game, but if this game was on primetime, dude, forget about it. That would have been awesome.
You're talking Chiefs
Bills.
Yeah. I think you know what? If there's one Chiefs game, I think I wanted to see all year, it was this one.
Mm-hmm.
I think everybody's got Chiefs fatigue. I think they're just not even when the Pats had their stretch, Brady, I think was just, and Mahomes is an entertaining guy to watch. I just think the Chiefs offense is not as entertaining. But I think even I guess it's different for you because you're a Jets fan. I think all those years the Patriots were always on primetime. They were still an entertaining watch. There was a great defense. And the Chiefs, for the record, are a great defense. But
sometimes I feel like now they're kind of I don't feel like they were the lights out defense than they were last year. I feel like they've been kind of coasting a little bit on reputation. Sure that they're still there, and Chris Jones is probably the best, inside run stopper in the game, but I feel like they have been better than they are this year.
Yeah. I haven't looked at the numbers. I mean, it's definitely what's carried them, to a degree here. ESPN's just showing a highlight of people getting hurt, and I don't know why this is something that ESPN is putting out. What else we got? Sunday night game is Seahawks in Washington. Jaden Daniels comes back for that. Seahawks.
Do you know if Terry's playing?
Terry McLaurin. That's a great question. Terry McLaurin's going to be out.
He is.
Tonight. I don't even know that I'll be up for this game. I worked fucking Friday, but I had to take my daughter trick-or-treating twice. So I did that. And then I worked Friday night into Saturday afternoon. So I had like an 18, 19-hour day.
Jesus.
And I came home and just crashed.
I believe it.
And I crashed until 4 this morning when the dog woke me up to use the potty. So I don't know. I'd like to say that I'm going to be up for this game, but I don't know that I will. But I think
if you go to bed, you're not going to be missing much.
I want to say that I think the Seahawks win this game. I don't know. Washington is not as interesting as they were last year. I think Washington was a really fun team to watch last year. I think the inconsistency of Jaden Daniels and his injuries, have kind of
sophomore slump.
Yeah, they made it difficult. And yeah, but it's not even really fair to call a sophomore slump because he hasn't been on the field enough to really, he hasn't been great when he was on the field, but like, I mean, I don't know, 8 touchdowns, 1 interception. That's pretty fucking good. He's played in how many games this year? I want to say he's played in 5. Yeah, he's played in 5 games.
Yeah.
He's ran it in for a touchdown, so he's at 9-1 here. I mean, it's actually no. He's lost 2 fumbles, so he's at 9-3. I mean, there's not enough there, and but you don't want to see a sophomore slump as much as there. I mean, I want to see it next week when the Lions play him, but like, it's there. We're at a shortage of really good quarterback play in this league. And you don't want to see another quarterback kind of falter and not figure it out. I think Jaden Daniels, just like CJ Stroud, showed us like everything in his rookie year of why he was picked and the round he was picked and how talented he is. And it's been inconsistent this year. It hasn't helped with the injuries. I mean, it's also an older team. Let's keep that in mind too. I think the average age on this Washington team is like 33, 34. So it's an older group of guys that's playing there. You want to see more consistent play out of them. I mean, the season is most certainly not dead. They're 3-5, but there's a long way to go.
And you're in probably not the division itself, but the NFC as a whole is just, you got to be damn near perfect. Like if you have anything under 10.
I thought you were going to say you're in the easier conference than me. I was going to say, brother, I think 11 wins may not get you in the playoffs this year for me. I mean, 11 should get you that last seed, but like, I don't know, man. It is tough. The NFC is tough.
Yeah.
You've got a lot of powerhouse teams. I mean, you've got legitimately 2 teams from every division that you say can and will make it. You've got 3 teams from most divisions that you think can and will make it. Like, if you're looking at the NFC West, like, let me pull up the standings here. Like, the Seahawks and the Rams are on top of that NFC West, but like the Niners are also 5-3. The Niners could make the playoffs.
Yep,
The
absolutely.
NFC South, I think it's pretty much just the Buccaneers. The Falcons and Panthers can make some noise, but I don't really think they do much. In the North, the Lions, Packers, and Vikings are all formidable. I mean, the Bears are 4-3 above the Vikings at 3-4. And then from the East, you've got the Eagles, you've got the Commanders, the Cowboys are 3-4-1. I mean, like, it's going to be a very competitive NFC. So it is tough for the Commanders here. They're in a tough spot, but you win today. You're 4-5. 4-5 looks a heck of a lot better than 3-6 does.
Definitely, yeah, definitely.
So,
especially down the stretch where they're going to have to play. The Eagles are going to play the Cowboys again.
They play Detroit next week.
Yeah,
that's tough. So, all right, Jerry, you got anything else?
No, I don't. I have nothing. I'm excited. With this being the bye week, I'm not going to say lackluster about this week, but like, I'm not going to watch anything at 1 o'clock. The one game I have circled on my calendar today is 4 o'clock. Obviously with that matchup. So I'm going to go do some yard work, hang out for a bit, and watch probably the game of the season. Hopefully it's a good game. We'll see. If it's anything like the Bills, Bills Ravens week 1, we'll be in good shape.
Where the Bills came back? Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in, and we will see you later this week. Until then,